Hi folks, well I had to step off the Turismo Veloce quite quickly because I haven't got a lot of time today, but I've got enough time to take out this baby, the F3 800 Rosso. I've liked the look of this bike ever since I first saw it. So let's take this out for a little spin, shall we? Now, my impressions might be tainted by the fact that I'm not much of a sports bike rider anymore, so I'm not really one for clip-ons, but I think I'll I'll struggle through somehow. Wow, it feels so small. Again, partly due to my experience level in recent years of sports bikes. Very responsive. It is a torquey engine. So as I mentioned, not too enthused about this sort of riding position, definitely as I've aged, but this bike is shorter, more compact than many sporty bikes I've ridden over the years. So yes, I am a long way over, but I'm not kind of stretched out over the tank. It's not a long riding position, but it is sporty. I think he actually let me through, which is awfully kind. I get the impression this bike probably looks quite amazing in the rear view mirror. Suspension, I suspect I'm going to have a bit of a rough ride today on this little getting to know you trip, because I've just been on these roads and they're not the smoothest. And yeah, seemingly just manually adjustable, which is no bad thing, but you just can't mess about on the fly, so it is what it is for this ride. Right, 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear. Will it relax a little bit? It will relax. I'm about 4,000 RPM, I think. Still accelerating in 6th gear. Mirrors, unfortunately, appear to be very blurred, so you might have to pull the clutch in every so often and just double check there's no blue lights behind you. Oh, I can see behind me now, 5,000 RPM. I think it's better if you're on a neutral throttle. I think the mirrors are okay. It's just when you get accelerating, the buzziness comes through, and I can feel a bit of buzziness in the handlebars as well, but nothing to speak of in the foot pegs, which is good. So this is another ride that's happened at very short notice. Thanks again to Colin at Completely Motorbikes MV Agusta for letting me take this bike out as well. Amazing. So since I didn't really know what I'd be riding today, I haven't got much information on this F3 800 to hand. Wow, it certainly doesn't hang about. Whoa! This engine has got a hell of a kick on it. The bike sounds utterly intoxicating. Makes the front end go light as well. But I think because of all the weight on the front end, the bike does feel stable. Doesn't feel too flighty, but I imagine it will if you're hard on the throttle and there's torques wanting to lift the front end. I think I'm behind a bus. Now that is a heartbreaker. So the ride here is not what you can call plush. It is quite firm. It's not bouncy, just unforgiving. But it still feels quite secure and not unstable. And the power delivery, that is really impressive. Okay, when you have sudden drops in the road level, you know, kind of dips in the road, yeah, suspension doesn't quite react to that very well, and you fly for a fraction of a second and squash your spuds on the tank. Yeah, I'm not even touching the surface of what this bike can do, but I am getting used to it. Wow, that has got so much acceleration. Brakes, oh wow, very good. Brembo's on the front, as you would expect. When the road smooths out like it has here, it feels wonderful, and it is so responsive and torquey. Right, this bike is officially glorious. I've not even touched the top of the rev range. I can't even imagine what's going on up there. Quickshifter is really good. The only thing is when you go up a gear, you've got to make sure your foot is then clear of the gear lever. If you go up a gear and just leave a little bit of pressure on the gear lever, then it won't go up into the next gear. But that's okay, just when you go up a gear, make sure your foot then comes down clear of the lever again, and it'll be gravy. You do feel a click through your foot when you're going up and down the box, but it gets the job done. I think I would need a tank protector, because I'm kind of quite snuggled up against the fuel tank. Although you can move backwards, actually there's a good amount of space forward to back, and the seat is flat, so you can do your hanging off stuff as well. Feel like a hero. I feel like a hero right now. So in the city, or in the town as it is, not quite so joyous. Clutch is okay. You can do it with 2 fingers, but I think your fingers would ache pretty quickly, so 3 fingers I think would be a sensible minimum, depending on your grip strength. You know that weakens with age if you don't exercise, and I don't exercise. Anyway, my bottom, the bit I'm using, which is kind of really at the front of my bottom, that's a little bit unhappy about what I'm riding right now. So yeah, I don't think this feels like a bike for long distances unless you're into pain, and I will not judge. With this bike, I think what we'll do is kind of work front to back, and I'll throw some specs at you while I walk around the motorbike. We will start with the 17-inch diameter, 3.5-inch wide front wheel, wearing 120/70 ZR17 Pirelli Rosso Corsa 2 tyres. The braking is courtesy of Brembo, as you can see. 4-pillion radial calipers, absolutely gorgeous looking, and they perform pretty well as well. Nissin radial master cylinder there to go with the Brembo brakes. Seems like a bit of an odd combination perhaps, but that was what my 2nd gen BMW S1000R wore, and they were ferocious brakes. So they stopped you quick. So I don't think there's any issues there in terms of braking performance with this combination. 320mm Brembo discs. I think they might be Brembo discs. Let's have a little close-up look. They are indeed Brembo discs, at least at the front. I'll have a stare at the back in a minute. The forks are Marzocchi 43mm upside down units. We have, as we come around the top here, a full range of adjusters: compression, rebound and preload on the forks, compression in the left fork, rebound in the right fork, so plenty adjustable. Moving towards
the middle of the bike, and really the star of the show. Well, there's a lot of stars, including the looks. But the engine, I've just discovered, we have titanium intake and exhaust valves. 798cc, 3-cylinder, 12 valve, 4-stroke, obviously. Whoa, 13.3 to 1 compression ratio. That is quite spicy. We do have an IMU, lean sensitive ABS and traction control. 50mm throttle bodies. That sounds quite big. If you're on the track, I imagine this thing is gulping fuel at a bit of a rate. So the power output is rated at 147 horsepower at 13,000 RPM. Max torque 88 Newton meters at 10,100 RPM. So it's all the way up there. But as I found, this bike is pretty torquey down low in the revs as well, which is pretty damn impressive for quite a high performance machine. I'll throw some dimensions at you. Wheelbase is 54.3 inches or 1380mm, pretty darn short. The seat height 830mm or 32.6 or 32.7 inches. The trail is a pretty short 99mm or 3.89 inches or 3.9 inches. Dry weight 173 kilos. So I guess you add about 20 kilos for that for fluids, but still pretty light for nearly 150 horsepower motorbike. So what I'm going to do is get a picture or clip of me sitting on the bike. I'm 5'7" or 170 centimeters tall, or not very tall, and with a 32-inch inside leg. So let's get on it and see how I fit. Beautiful tubular trellis chassis holding it all together with a big aluminium side plate to which the single-sided swing arm is hanging off. Let's have a little look, shall we? Oh, there we go. And as we move around to the back, the rear wheel is a 5.5-inch unit wearing a 180/55 ZR17 tyre. The rear disc is 220mm diameter with a Brembo, you just see it down there. Brembo 2-piston caliper on the back. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for our little wander around. Take a couple of photos and I'll be on my way.
So I'm surviving this slower speed stuff. My wrists aren't complaining too much. Oh, look at that pickup in 4th gear. Funnily enough, I think with the centre of gravity maybe forward on this bike because of the riding position, it feels a bit more stable than the Turismo Veloce. But you do pay for that with the pressure on your wrists. Can I sit up? Ooh, probably camera's facing the wrong direction now. But take one hand off the bar, bit of a lighter grip on the throttle. Have we got? Oh, we got cruise control. Awesome. So if you need a bit of a rest from this riding position, it's possible. But that's really good news that we got cruise on here. That makes this bike a bit more of a realistic prospect for the older rider, I think. I do wish I had the space and the money to put one of these in my shed. It feels fabulous. Challenging, stiff, not really built for these roads. But the way you can throw it around and the way that engine performs, whew, yeah, it's something else. Yeah, on the basis of this very short ride, it's everything I hoped it would be. What maps we got? We got sports, rain, race. Oh my god, I've got race. I imagine that switches off a few of the safeties. I don't think I'll mess with race. I've had a fantastic time on this bike. Could I really see myself owning one? If I'm sensible, I think the answer is no, but my heart says buy one. It would be a hell of a thing to possess. Right then, we're about done. Thanks once again to Completely Motorbikes MV Agusta. And if you're not sure how to find them, and if you haven't seen my other video with the Turismo Veloce, I'll show you now. So here's Completely Motorbikes Kawasaki and Yamaha. Well, we're going to go around the back this way. Past Completely Motorbikes Suzuki, the back of that car showroom. And here's Completely Motorbikes used straight ahead of me. There, and just to the left, MV Agusta. So an epic little ride. Really enjoyed the hell out of that, I've got to say. Look at that. Would you not want that in your garage? I do.